Good evening.
So, we were talking about this yesterday, and this is, we had an idea for a show type thing. A very stupid idea, which we now present to you. It's called Apples to Oranges, and you can play along with the Apples to Oranges home game.
Pick it up wherever board games are sold.
Yeah. Also at the website, which we have as a thing.
That too.
So basically what we did was, me and Matt here, we took our complete list of films that we own, and we compiled them into a alphabetical list, numbered. We have around 400 individual kind of unique movies.
395 to be exact.
Shut your face. So what we're going to do here is we are going to just roll basically a 395-sided dice. We're going to get 3 movies at random, and then we're going to watch them in a row.
The genres vary.
There will be great discrepancies in genre and quality and whatever.
We both own some very good movies, and we own some very shitty movies.
So, yeah, so that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to get together after we watch them, and then we're going to kind of discuss and...
common themes. We're going to make up common themes.
We're going to find what's the common theme between these 3 movies. And then we're going to order them from the best to the worst. So, let's do the inaugural... All right, give me
drawing.
Give me a drum roll, please. 369.
And the winner for 369 is... Thunderball.
Nice.
Okay.
Thunderball. Okay. This is pretty random. So Thunderball is the 4th James Bond movie. It's a Sean Connery film. I don't particularly like it. It's usually considered okay, but it's got a lot of underwater action sequences.
Oh, I did light one up.
Yeah, well, forget it. Okay, Thunderball. Okay, second film. 165.
Winner for number 165 is...
Only God forgives.
Idiocracy.
Alright.
This is gonna be great.
Thunderball and Idiocracy. Alright. 326.
Oh, Jesus.
Is it?
26.
That's an alien movie.
It's All Dogs Go to Heaven.
No, you can't keep a good dog down. I've seen pain and hurt. That's right.
I can't believe... I love that you own All Dogs Go to Heaven. So... The lineup, ladies and gentlemen. Thunderball, Idiocracy, All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Yes.
There we go. So, we just got finished watching Thunderball, Idiocracy, and All Dogs Go to Heaven in a row. It was like 5 hours or something like that. It is now 1 in the morning. So...
It's Super Bowl Sunday. Everybody else was watching the fucking Super Bowl.
We were all watching this...
Thunderball, Idiocracy, and All Dogs Go to Heaven.
So, yeah, it was an interesting experience.
It was rather interesting.
Over the
So,
Dennis and I had not seen Thunderball
before. So here's Thunderball. I was the only one who had previously seen Thunderball. I'm a pretty big James Bond dude.
Bond.
So Dennis,
Yeah,
you want to take this?
I'll take...
What would you give us a kind of a brief synopsis of Thunderball?
In my own words or by reading the back?
Don't, yeah, just Just don't. No.
Don't.
Just do what was Thunderball about? Give us a nice 2 sentences.
Okay. Thunderball is about your very little beloved James Bond series, in which he does super cool spy shit. Fucks bitches.
Mink. It reduces the tensions.
Not mine.
And then saves the world. Like he always does.
Okay. What were what makes this different from what is unique
What are the
aspects
the unique
of Thunderball?
aspects of Thunderball?
Aspects.
I'm like tripping over myself. It's like one. A lot of underwater fight scenes.
Yeah.
A lot of underwater fight scenes. Half the movie's underwater.
Right, basically.
Same thing. They always like all the Bond girls. It's all the same. Really, I can't tell you what's more different in this James Bond besides like a shit ton of underwater fights.
Yeah.
Domino is one of my favorite Bond girls now.
Because you
By the
just
way,
sort of
just because I found her really. It's just
She's
strictly
very
attractive.
attractive.
I mean,
Well, yeah. I mean, to be totally fair, that's what they do most of the time.
yeah.
I do like Domino, motherfucker. But I think so this one, obviously, this is the 4th of 6 Sean Connery ones. And it takes place in a tropical setting, which Dr. No did as well. And as Dennis mentioned, there's a shit ton of underwater fight scenes.
This is also where, if we're just gonna like pop in on movie stuff, this is where some of the more prominent Austin Powers references come from.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Number 2,
number 2 is from this movie. He's Emilio Lago.
the Sharks.
The Sharks. There's it's
This one has a cold open, doesn't it? No, does it?
what?
No.
No.
Does it
Yes. No.
Maybe. I'm asking you.
What was the question?
just have a cold?
Cold open?
Yeah, that's a cold open with the jetpack. It flies
yes.
in-
Yes.
that's
Classic
where
Fucking jetpack.
this isn't a woman. It's a man. This is some kind of dude dressed up like a lady at his own funeral or something. But this is pretty. I think this is pretty mid-range Bond.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
thought it was
It's not one of my favorites by far, but like I like it. It's a good movie. And
It's in the upper half, I would say, of Bonds. There's probably people that disagree with me on that one, but I'm not as big a fan of this one as No or From Russia with Love or Goldfinger. I think it's it's definitely not the weakest Sean Connery. That would be I think that'd probably be Diamonds Are Forever. Though You Only Live Twice isn't that great either. But
if you have a special fetish for people getting shot with harpoons,
yes.
It's
A
great.
lot of people get shot with harpoons. Like 700 people.
there's an entire scene dedicated to people with harpoons.
So, our second movie was Idiocracy.
Starring Luke Wilson.
Starring Luke
and
Wilson.
Maya Rudolph.
Maya Rudolph is directed by Mike Judge. A kind of a random movie. Not a ton of people probably heard about it. Matt, would you like to give us a brief synopsis
All right.
of Idiocracy?
You want to read the back?
No.
Have some imagination.
It's
damn.
basically about, all the smart people, the smart people aren't having kids and all the dumb fucks, are just breeding like mad. And
Right.
so it's, about this sort of fucked up future. Luke Wilson gets cryogenically frozen, ends up in this fucked up future 500 years down the road where everybody's just fucking retarded.
Don't worry, Scro. Now there are plenty of tards out there living really kick-ass lives. My first wife was tarded, She's a pilot now.
And he's trying to get back to 2005.
That's a good synopsis of that movie.
Yeah. I like just holding it so everybody can see break it down.
Yeah.
Front cover. I like that.
This movie this is obviously a Mike Judge film, and Mike Judge has had a good track record, I think, of making good movies, but not he has had a bad kind of track record financially in terms of movies.
Yes.
So this is a Mike Judge film. Like a lot of them, they didn't do well at the box office, but it's kind of gaining steam as a cult hit. I think it was just, like I said, I think released into a couple theaters when it came out. There was no promotion for it. It was kind of swept under the rug and was kind of, gained a following in its DVD release.
Over time, it's become a bit more recognized.
Right. Yes.
I'll be very honest. This movie hurts my soul. Not in a bad way.
This was the first time Dennis saw it.
This is the first time
me
I've
and Matt
seen
had seen this. Dennis has not seen this.
To give you my first impression of it, hurts my soul because it's tragically true. In a world where the dumb succeed, in the fact that it's just they breed and they breed and they breed, and then there's no intelligence, and then just by record, this guy's not smart. Your main character isn't like prominently
He's
intelligent.
super average.
He's just
that's
a dude.
the whole point.
Yeah.
He's just a dude.
So he's like the smartest guy
on the planet
in the future.
Yeah.
and then he has to like sort of jury rig everything to get humanity sort of back on track. Not even really great.
Yeah, like it's very much a satirical film, and I think for satire to be effective, there has to be obviously some kind of grain of truth to it, and this is I think pretty sharp satire. I don't think it totally works as a narrative movie, but it's a very cynical movie. It's if you're kind of a cynical person who kind of looks around and. If you watched the Transformers movies and were like, I feel like an alien, like if you've ever felt like that, I think in terms of like, why is everyone an idiot sort of thing, it's a movie made for you kind of, and I like that interesting sentiment, and it's an interesting idea. I think. The best part of the movie, I think, is it has like these really neat background gags and stuff like that.
The Masturbation Network, keeping America baiting for 300 years.
It does. It has a lot of slogans and advertisements in the background.
Yeah.
If you do read carefully, we'll give you a chuckle or two.
Yeah, it's just, to me, it's kind of just a send up of kind of the underbelly of American culture, and that everyone's stupid, everything's become over sexualized.
Man, I could really go for a Starbucks,
Yeah, well, I really don't think we have time for a hand job, Joe.
There's advertising everywhere in this future, and it is
Including on the shirts.
Shirts
are just a compilation of advertisements.
They look like NASCAR jackets.
Yeah.
So just got like, and
like
that's
just
clothes.
regular everyday shirts.
Yeah.
Like that's what people wear.
Yeah, and I think this movie kind of depressed you, but that's because it's kind of true. It's like legitimately, you look at this as a future, and it kind of seems plausible.
I just need you to tell me how to get to the time machine.
Oh, that's easy. Well, you go down by the museum and stuff. It's like by the museum, sort of, but actually not really. More like on the street. You go. Wait, let me start over. Okay, you know where the time machine is?
The movie, it does open up this whole like, oh god, that's where we're going.
Yeah, and I think that's what really good satire does.
It is.
Yeah, I like this movie. Like I said, it's got its problems, but I like this movie a lot. So I would, if you can find this or whatever, you should check it out. It's pretty sweet.
It is.
And finally.
So our third movie is All Dogs Go to Heaven, and so this is '89, I believe. Yes. So this is a Don Bluth movie. For those who don't know who Don Bluth is, think of basic anything between like 85-ish, 80.
80s to 90s. 80s to mid 90s.
80s to mid 90s. Think about an animated movie. If it's not Disney, it's probably Don Bluth. He obviously made kind of a string of animated films during that time period. Me and Matt are pretty big Don Bluth fans. He did Secret of Nim, American Tale, Anastasia, the original Land Before Time, so on and so forth. So this movie is about a dog,
Charlie,
voiced
by Burt Reynolds.
Burt fucking Reynolds.
Burt fucking Reynolds. And he dies, and he goes to heaven. But he don't want to be in heaven no more. So he comes back to seek vengeance.
I'm gonna ruin him. I'm gonna make him suffer. Slow. He'll be begging for mercy.
On those that took his life. But instead just kind of sits around. And things happen.
And he makes money off of poor little
Yes,
Avery,
yeah, he forces
by-
a child into slavery. and uses her special gifts to make lots of money. And Dom DeLuise is there, and he wears a hat.
Dom DeLuise is there, and he wears a hat and shirt.
And there's an alligator in it, who just pops out of nowhere and is really random.
Oh, what do you call that voice, little fella? That a baritone or a tenor?
And it becomes a Deus Ex Machina.
Yes. So, this is all dogs could have. And I would say this is like Thunderball, interestingly enough. Maybe that's what the theme is. It's about averageness, because this is pretty mid-range Don
Pretty
Bluth.
mid-range Bluth. That's pretty mid-range Bond, and that is about a super average guy.
Yeah, maybe that's the common theme.
It's average.
It's average night here at Apples to Oranges. So, I would it's not a bad movie.
Not really.
No,
It's not a bad movie.
It's kind of weird though, in that it's
if you read between the lines, it's insanely dark.
it does have, but it's not like Secret of Nim. Like I want to kill myself.
No.
It's weird. It seems like just a lot of, because it's sort of like, Burt Reynolds' dog comes back and is like, I'm gonna get the bad guy back, and he kind of just doesn't do it. Like I never feel like that moves forward. He just kind of.
And even, there's two different things that, you kind of expect from it, and I feel like it's trying to accomplish, is that it's a redemption kind of thing, that he's gonna, he was a shitty dog in the beginning, but he's gonna become good, or he's gonna get revenge on Carface, the dog, but neither really happens.
Because at the beginning he's kind of this roguish Han Solo type character.
Right.
And yeah, you're expecting it to be sort of a redemptive story for him, and
he continues to be shitty and a douchebag until the very end of the movie,
where it's like, it's time to redeem yourself,
and that's when he gets his revenge on Carface. Like, he doesn't even do that, and he doesn't even really do it himself. Carface just kind of falls into,
The only thing I can really say that sort of works against that is, I suppose he does open up his own dog casino, whatever the hell it is, and I suppose he drives the business away from
you just called it Dog Casino?
Dog Casino.
Dog Casino.
I thought you were combining his own Dog Casino, if you will.
No, he does make his own casino, and I guess he drives business away from Carface. I guess that's
really.
I don't know if that was the point, but there's not a ton of that seems like a really passive aggressive way to get revenge.
Yeah, there's no really
I mean, he did just run him over with a fucking car into a lake.
I feel like
smashed.
It's about an hour and 20 minutes. Sans credits, and opening credits and stuff like that. I feel like it's really overstuffed for its hour and 20 minutes. I feel like there's a lot of different elements and they never really come together as a cohesive narrative. There's never that one thing that we're like, this is what the plot is about, this is what the story is about, and we're moving towards that, or we're moving towards that conclusion. There's just a lot of random, there's there's that aforementioned alligator just pops up.
Right.
There's a doggy orphanage, there's them, there's this girl and she wants a family.
There's just a lot of dicking around.
There's a lot of dicking around, and it's kind of one of them dicking around type movies.
Because there's a plot, you understand what's supposed to be going on, but yeah, there's just a lot of dicking around, and then it just sort of all falls together at the very end. It's just Oh yeah, we have a plot. Boom, we're done.
In a just generally pretty generic way to me. Like, it's not like, oh, it failed so miserably.
No.
Like, it was just like, okay.
And it's like, boop, and it's done.
And for me, this movie is just super nostalgic, so I can't hate. Not that it's worthy of being hated anyway, but I can't.
It's got good stuff about it. I think the animation looks great for '89.
It's also another one of those things where if you go back and watch it, there's just a lot of stuff that was in cartoons that you don't expect because of today's like animated things. There's smoking, there's drinking,
there's dog Satan.
And not even just like a cartoony, like, it's like a demon that doesn't talk. Like, it's just like fucking creepy ass shit.
Yeah,
But
there's
then
a
again,
lot
it
of,
is
like
Don
a lot of Don Bluth movies, there's a lot of kind of dark subtext to it, and in some of, I think actually some of the better Don Bluth movies, that's not really subtext anymore.
No.
Again, some like Secret of Nim or Land Before Time, which, you know, a lot of people remember Land Before Time for having about 6 billion sequels.
Yeah.
And everybody, a bunch of dinosaurs singing and dancing around and shit like it's Barney. But like, that original Land Before Time was very, like, I believe it's described as very melancholic. It's kind of depressing and dark, and that was, some of that was kind of here. I'm not saying it has to be dark, but I just feel like it never kind of gelled together into a cohesive thing.
It's very loose.
Because, like, it would go from being super dark and, like, Jesus, and then it would just jump right into something
there's a lot of,
really
like,
cartoony
rapid
and, like,
tonal shifts,
yeah. It's all funny and bright and goofy. What I was about to say, too, was, in a weird way, as random as this selection was, I never, while watching each of them, was like, this is so random. Like, it all seemed to just kind of work together in a weird way. I don't know why.
I think that's the beauty of this. I think when you watch them with that intention, they kind of all kind of
meld.
You know, one second you're watching James Bond harpoon a guy in the dick, and then the next, you know, there's a giant alligator and a Burt Reynolds dog, and they're singing about music and sharing or whatever, and it's just, you're like, how did I get here? Because it was a rather brisk 5 hours. I thought I never felt belt down.
Yeah, I never felt like, it's taking forever.
Thunderball drags a little bit.
A little bit.
But the other ones are like an hour and 20 minutes. They're pretty breezy. I would say that would be our common bond though. Would be it's really, this is really a celebration of mediocrity.
It is.
Really,
It is.
This collection.
A fine mediocre collection.
So, this one's kind of a little bit difficult for me to order.
It is for me as well.
Obviously, that's the point of this whole thing, is that how do you compare these just vastly different films to each other? Does anyone have any kind of initial gut feeling as to where these all go?
For me, Idiocracy is on top. And then I guess
you want to say Odd Dogs in a second.
See, that's what I'm trying
but
to figure out.
But it kind of feels wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Because, like, I'm just factoring in my nostalgia, like, that kind of pushes it, but...
Because I will agree, I think Idiocracy goes on top.
Yeah.
I will agree with that. Again, none of these movies totally works. Like, there's none that are just, like, resounding successes. But Idiocracy has weird ambition to it.
Yeah.
And it's very pointed, and I think in what it's trying to do, I think it succeeds the best out of these three movies.
See, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place because I like Bond films.
Right.
I'm not like blah about Bond films.
Bond films?
But I do like Bond films, and I like Sean Connery, and this happens to be a Sean Connery movie. But I'm kind of have to go and say like Idiocracy does go on top.
Right. Yeah.
I do like it, though it did hurt my soul because of the truth behind it all. But it was actually a really good movie.
So I think we can all come to consensus. Idiocracy
on top.
Number one. Okay, so this is the best of these three movies. So if someone puts a gun to your head and is like,
choose between Thunderball, all those go to heaven, or
Idiocracy, I'm going to kill your family, I would say this is a pretty good bet. You go with this one. So
you're not gonna hate your life if you watch any of them.
No, they're all fine. They really are.
You'll get the most out of it if you go with it.
But and I think to a degree, obviously, I think that comes with as with all cult films, I think you have to be receptive to what. I think this is a movie.
Yeah, this movie definitely won't work for everyone.
Yeah.
This is just personal taste. Like
you have to be, again, like all cult films, you have to be kind of on its wavelength to get what it's talking about.
Yeah.
But if you're on that wavelength, and I think that's kind of what cult films are. I think it's sort of you feel like it was almost made for you just because you're on that kind of wavelength and it's speaking to you almost personally.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's good. You might not like it if you watch it. I don't know. But
if you're a smart guy and you think the world's going in the wrong direction of being dumb,
you might enjoy it.
You'll enjoy it.
So we'll put that one first. So
I'd say Thunderball next.
Thunderball.
So you say Thunderball?
I say Thunderball.
So what makes Thunderball
second over
better than All Dogs Go to Heaven?
Attractive women.
So this one had boobies in it.
This
movie
and
did
that
not.
made Matt happy.
This is not a flawed argument. It makes sense. Dennis, you would also say that Thunderball is better than All Dogs Go to Heaven.
I would, simply because if you were just like
boobs.
No, if you're just like
he's lying.
I'm gonna take
He's
this.
lying.
Weren't really any tits.
There weren't actual tits. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm
They were
also
fine. They
not
were
a
fine.
giant horn dog, but
You don't have to be a horn dog to appreciate the female form.
no, you don't. But
There
when
were
you're mad,
there were
you do
better
too much.
there were better sets of breasts in this movie
This I will.
than in this movie.
This I will not deny, but I like Thunderball more. Not because of the boobies, though the boobies were a plus.
It's something to consider.
If you like boobies, you might like Thunderball.
If you like flat-chested urine girls,
Maybe.
go for
Maybe.
James Bond.
Maybe you fucking freak.
You go for
monster.
James Bond. Because you should be a normal man and like normal man things.
And if you're gay, you got some Sean Connery.
See,
So that's some just
I'm partly
man
gay.
Sean
I
Connery
love
in the
Sean
60s
Connery.
is very sexual, man.
Very
Very
sexual
man.
man.
It's like a rug on his chest, and you just want to
Run
run
your
your
fingers through it. But no, it has more action, and I like it. I suppose, more action in the sense underwater fight scenes than like dogs kind of sort of growing thumbs when they need it.
See, the one thing is, Thunderball has significantly more underwater fight scenes than All Dogs Go to Heaven.
So to reiterate, Dennis likes Thunderball more than All Dogs Go to Heaven because boobies and underwater fight scenes. This does not have either of those.
For me, it is the female form in general, and the jetpack.
The jetpack.
Jetpack.
That was amazing.
This did not have a jetpack in it.
And also, probably, interestingly enough, my favorite part of Thunderball is when they get ripped out of the fucking raft at the end because they would be so fucking dead. And it was funny to me.
There's some great, and by great I mean really bad green screen work in this.
Oh yeah. The fucking boat going at night.
It is obviously it's the 60s. This movie actually looks great for the 60s. I mean, this
really does.
This is pre-Star Wars, obviously. But there's some fairly cheesy green screen stuff. All the legitimate kind of not green screen effects actually look great.
Yeah, as you said, like this was a really expensive movie to make.
Yeah, it was.
Like insanely expensive.
Yeah.
Which I like because of that like little bit of movie knowledge. It really makes it that much cooler.
Thunderball is basically the 1965 version of, say, like the Avengers or something. This was a huge movie at the time. I will, boobies, jetpack. One movie's got them, one movie's doesn't.
Cool male things. Okay male things.
What it has to come down to, for me, I mean, I'm already beaten on this, regardless. But what it's got to come down to me is, what are the target audiences of these two films? How well do they sort of speak to those audiences? So this is obviously men of any age. It's got boobies. It's got jetpack.
Gadgets.
It's got a harpoon gun. It has sharks.
Explosions.
It's got a couple of explosions. It has
James Bond.
more boobies. So
It's got Sean Connery.
it's got
Yes,
Sean Connery's package.
Lots of Sean.
You know, things men love.
Things men love.
Sean Connery's packed. Sean Connery wearing shorts.
Yes.
Oh, like short shorts.
He wears like Daisy Dukes for like 90% of this movie.
We're not gay. We're gay for Sean Connery.
Wait for Sean Connery, though. He's a very sexual man. Now, this movie is meant for children, I presume. This movie has Dog Satan, death,
And that's about it.
gambling,
Oh, it's smoking,
Drinking.
drug use.
a dog almost getting eaten by piranhas.
A dog not shown, but does get eaten by an alligator.
A dog not
Yeah.
shown, but
It's
getting
off
hit by a
screen.
car.
And, this could be leveraged at many a Don Bluth film.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's be honest.
Well, we're man children.
This isn't
I
even the
think
darkest
It
Don Bluth
appears
film.
that half of us.
No, but, okay. At the end of the day, while this was kind of overlong and just wasn't super exciting, I feel like it comes together. It's a linear narrative. It goes somewhere. This kind of is all over the place. So I will agree. I think the order would be Idiocracy, Thunderball, then All Dogs Go to Heaven. I do enjoy that we had, I think that was at least a 10-minute discussion about whether Thunderball was better than All Dogs Go to Heaven. Which
We had to think
I
about that
don't
one.
think anyone's ever had that discussion. And that's
That is apples to oranges.
that's what Apples to Oranges is about. It's a lot of people aren't going to understand it, but when you're a visionary like me, you wake up some days and you go, I want to change the world today. And I just had a 10-minute discussion with two people about whether Thunderball was better than All Dogs Go to Heaven. No one's ever done that before. Pioneering right here, right now.
It's happening. You've just watched the first apples to oranges.